All right, folks, welcome back. I'm actually on take two of this because for some reason OBS decided it didn't want to record. Uh, Completely off topic before we start. If anybody has suggestions on free video software to record stuff like this other than OBS on a Mac, let me know. New softwares are fun for me. Also, please remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm doing the giveaway at 500, 1,000, and 1,500, so you'll want to be a part of that. Let's go on and jump into Hank Johnson, famous for saying Guam was going to tip over due to the waiting Marines, and his latest attempt to subjugate the people of the country. That being H.R. 5717, introduced very recently, which would ban 99.9 to the nth degree % of firearms. I own a pistol, a rifle, I own a shotgun. My father owns a shotgun. And of all of the weapons between me and my friends, my family, I personally know of two that this would not ban. One is a single action revolver. By single action, I mean you have to cock the hammer back with your finger to fire. Double action means you pull the trigger, it'll action the hammer for you. The other is a breech loading 20 gauge shotgun. It's a single shot. You have to actually break it open in the middle to put a new round in. Every other firearm I've ever owned and do own now would be banned under this. They're going in and saying things like barrel shroud. And they actually say if you have a grenade launcher, I'm sorry, no one has a grenade launcher. Maybe, YouTubers and collectors. No one is walking around going hunting or competing with a grenade launcher. It's just not happening. Barrel shroud doesn't exist. It amazes me that people can be this stupid, but they go into things like, if it has a detachable magazine that can be attached to the weapon anywhere but the pistol grip. To show you, and this is how I would recommend if you're going to show a firearm, other than maybe actually demonstrating its capabilities, breech open. This won't do a thing right now. It's also pointed at, the end of my house, but also trees. But this is a pistol grip. They're saying if a pistol that has more than one is an assault weapon. If you have a pistol with more than one pistol grip, I want to see it. But also they say if the detachable magazine, if I get it right, can be put into the pistol anywhere but the pistol grip. There's nowhere else for it to go. It goes there. And that is how it loads. It's literally, they're saying, if you have a pistol that has a clip on the side maybe to hold another magazine. I understand, yes, there are devices for AR magazines that will have a little clip where you have two magazines. And when one runs out, you drop, move over, and insert. I've tried those. I'm slower than actually pulling one out of a holster. There's not a need for them outside of, honestly, competition. Because that's the only place you're ever really going to see them. But this bill is not about making people safe. It talks about victims of domestic abuse. You want to make victims of domestic abuse safer? Help them get one of these. Help them get the training to know how it works, not provided by the government, by the way, and stop preventing them from carrying their firearm legally. The NRA does amazing work in education, firearms education. I know of several groups near me that are women's groups designed to teach women about firearms, different firearms, how to fire them, how to care for them, how to carry them. But the government doesn't want that. They want you dependent on them for security so that they can protect the people who bow to them and cry over the tragic loss of life of those who don't. It also mentions extreme risk protection orders. I've mentioned this before. There was a man in Connecticut. He wasn't threatening anyone. He wasn't even insulting anyone. He wasn't doing anything except having a discussion, a debate, and winning. And the person who couldn't make this guy say, oh, never mind, you're right, reported him as dangerous. Police later bust into his home, and when the guy wouldn't bow down to the government, they killed him. It was found out later that he was not a danger. But the person who got this guy killed, nothing happened to him. Because all he had to say was, I felt threatened. There's a push right now. I've got a video that's not too long ago. People trying to basically red flag law, Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer openly threatened Justices Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. Although he later gave a half-assed apology, saying, basically, I'm sorry, you're too stupid to understand I'm allowed to say this. And people are trying to red flag law him. Won't work. But still, they're bringing it up that, oh, you threatened someone. You shouldn't be around guns. Extreme risk protection orders, or red flag laws, strip you of your second, fourth, fifth, and sixth Amendment rights. Because before anything happens, you are unaware. Someone goes to the police or a judge and says they feel you're a danger. There is a hearing that you're not allowed to go to because you don't know about it, where only one side of the argument is heard. A judge can't say, okay, I've only heard one side, I can't rule. They're told, you must rule on this case. And it will be presented by an attorney who is hell-bent on getting you disarmed. And that attorney will bring up everything and anything they can, and then say, well, there's no one has refuted my evidence because you didn't allow them to. You're then disarmed. You've been stripped of your Second Amendment rights. You were stripped of your Fourth Amendment rights because you were searched and property was seized unreasonably. You're stripped of your Fifth Amendment rights, meaning you can't say, Judge, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want anyone to twist my words and say that they're right. And you're stripped of your Sixth Amendment right, that being a speedy public trial by a jury of your peers. It's literally an attorney and their client and the judge. And that attorney is presenting everything in the worst possible light to make that judge have to rule you're dangerous. And no judge is ever going to rescind an ERPO because then there's that 1 in a million chance. Well, if someone gets hurt and I rescinded it, that means they were dangerous and I'm responsible. It's moronic. It needs to stop now. We need 535 pink slips handed to Congress. And the new 535 need to be told, 1, you're here for 2 terms. Then you go home. And if you start violating the Constitution, you're out on your butt. Never allowed in government service again because you tried to violate the Constitution. It's as simple as that. They all swear to uphold and defend the Constitution. And every single one of them, at one point or another, even the ones that I support, have violated that oath in even a small way. And it should be grounds for immediate removal from office. But none of it will happen because, as of right now, the only ones who can do anything are the ones that would be removing themselves. We need to call an Article 5 Convention of States. We need to amend the Constitution to enforce term limits, fiscal responsibility, and to say whatever the Constitution says on that page, that's what it means. You want to try and amend it, try and amend it, but do it through the right process. Don't just stand up and say, well, they didn't really mean this. The people who are saying the founders wouldn't have ever envisioned the AR-15 are the same ones who say, well, they knew speech would evolve to include social media and cell phones and the internet. So they're smart enough to know we'd have YouTube, but not smart enough to know firearms technology would advance past the musket, even though it already had by that time. This is the argument we're up against. And it's an argument that you can't win, because the argument being made against you is, I'm right, damn it, I'm right, damn it. You need to say I'm right. If you don't say I'm right, you're an evil bigot and I get to put in jail. California is already doing this crap. You can go to jail for misgendering someone. But they won't send SWAT to East Los Angeles or Compton or Watts to arrest gangbangers. They're talking about deputizing city officials to ride the city streets and force people to go back to their home. But they won't clear out gangs. They won't clear up the homeless. I guarantee Skid Row is still going to be Tent City. And it's going to be coronavirus central. But as long as they're being obeyed by the people who actually pay taxes and vote Democrat because they're stupid, that's all they care about. I don't know what else I can say. HR 5717 needs to be just obliterated. It doesn't even deserve a vote. But the Democrats will call for a vote. They will not allow debate, and they will probably not allow people to read the full bill. Remember, 2012 is when Nancy Pelosi said to pass the bill, we have to pass the bill to find out what's in it. Quite literally said, you aren't allowed to know what this law is that we're going to hold you accountable under until it's a law. They'll try this crap again. And it needs to stop. I've talked long enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, remain civil. We're not here to scream, yell, and hurl insults at each other. We're here to debate. We're adults. We can disagree civilly. So do so. Also, please remember to subscribe, share the video so that we can expand the conversation, and also so the channel will grow and we'll get to that giveaway thresholds faster. 500 gets 1 book, 1,000 gets 2, 1,500 gets 3. The choices are Fahrenheit 451, Brave New World, and 1984. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Keep your heads about you.